everyone, how are you doing today? So today I'm going to be talking to you about IUCD and does it cause odor? Does it cause vaginal odor? So don't go anywhere, we're going to get right into the video. Hey! So like the intro stated, we're going to be talking about IUCDs today and actually if it gives you vaginal odor, right? So an IUCD is basically an intrauterine contraceptive device that helps to prevent you from getting pregnant. There are those that are hormonal and those that are not hormonal, right? Whichever IUCD you decide to use, it is good to know that an IUCD does not actually cause vaginal odor. An IUCD comes in a sterile container. If you can see, I have a container right here. It comes in a very thick plastic, and that plastic has the IUCD inside, which is sterile. I'm trying to get it up, but I'm going to add a picture of it in the video so you see exactly what I'm talking about. Now the container is sterile and we do our best to ensure that when we're putting it in, we use a sterile technique to prevent any entry of bacteria inside the uterus when we get the IUCD in, right? Now, inside your womb is supposed to be sterile. It is supposed to be sterile because nothing at all and no bacteria is supposed to be inside your womb. So inside of your body on a whole is sterile. If there's any infection or any bacteria that is not supposed to be in there, goes in there, then you're going to be having worsening problems. So we try to ensure that when we insert your copper T or your Mirena or whichever intrauterine contraceptive device you decide to use, we ensure that we use a sterile technique. Now, whether you go to your doctor, you go to your family nurse practitioner, or you go to your midwife, whoever gives you your contraceptive device will be able to do the right thing to ensure that nothing is done to introduce any bacteria or any unwanted bacteria inside of the vagina. Okay? The next thing to note, when we insert your copper T, we try to ensure that there is no visible infection inside of the vagina. I say visible infection because there are some infections that you cannot see with the naked eye. That is chlamydia. You have to do tests to see if chlamydia is actually there, right? And chlamydia can cause pelvic inflammatory disease, which can then lead to infertility or other complications. But we try to make sure that there is no visible infection present inside the vagina when we are going to insert the copper T. We also use an antiseptic wipe to ensure that we clean the tip of the cervix. So make sure that if there is anything there, we clean it so we do not insert it inside of your vagina. We ensure that we do not touch anything at all with the copper T when we insert it, and we actually have an applicator that helps us to stay away from your copper T so that we do not touch it any at all to transfer any bacteria onto the copper T. So in short, your copper T does not cause you to have a bacterial odor or vaginal odor. In short, the copper T or Mirena or whichever intrauterine contraceptive device you choose to use does not cause vaginal odor. If you have your copper T in and you are starting to experience any fishy or foul odor, strong pungent odor coming from the vagina, it is best for you to go see your practitioner to get yourself treated, or your OBGYN. Whoever you go to for your care, you go to see them to get yourself treated. It is likely that you have picked up bacterial vaginosis or trichomonas infection, which I've talked about a little bit in my previous video. I'll add a link to it in the description so you can go over and view that video and learn a little bit more about those two opportunistic infections. All right? So if you have any odor coming from the vagina after you've inserted your cup of tea, you please ensure that you go to your doctor to get yourself treated. The copper tea, the IUCD, Mirena, whichever one you choose to use, does not cause odor. There's one thing to note, that if you have frequent infections, you should not have your cup of tea inserted. There are reasons for this because there's a string inside the vagina that you use to remove the cup of tea when it's time for it to be removed, or if you want to remove it for any reason, or it's the same string that you use to feel for your cup of tea every month after you've had your period. There's a string in the vagina, so if there's any bacteria that is constantly in the vagina, untreated, or you're frequently reinfected, then that bacteria can travel. And you can travel up into the womb, and then you can get a worsening infection called pelvic inflammatory disease. So if you have frequent infections, or if your partner is not faithful, or if you have more than one sex partner, we normally encourage you either use a condom if you're going to use this, or you avoid putting it in. Because as I said, the string that is there can cause the bacteria to travel up and then get you to be more at risk for a worsening infection. But on its own, the copper tea does not cause infection. It is sterile, and your womb should be sterile, so therefore there should not be any odor in the vagina unless you've picked up an infection. You can pick up a sexually transmitted infection or a bacterial infection that is not sexually transmitted, and both of these can cause you to have odor emanating from the vagina. All right, so you can rest assured that this is one of the most effective, one of the safest methods that you can use to prevent yourself from getting pregnant until you are ready to do so. Or it's a good method to choose if you want something to take you into menopause and you do not want to have a hormonal method. You can use the copper tea, which is non-hormonal, or if you want something to give you a little added protection, you can use your Mirena. So have a wonderful day, and I hope I answered your questions. I hope it was clear for you to understand. And if you could please do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. Help me to grow so that I can keep bringing useful information to you that you can apply to your everyday doings, whatever it is that you do, and to help to improve your lifestyle, improve your health, so that you can, live a more fulfilling life. So ensure, please, subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell, share with your friends and family. As I always say, do not be selfish. Share. Sharing is caring. So share it on your social media platforms, wherever you go. If you're in your groups, just share my videos and encourage them to subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye.